Hey everyone, thanks so much for coming back to my channel. For those of you that are new, my name is Sarah and I love to film beauty content. This is going to be a Project Pan update. I do Project Pan, I do beauty box unboxings, I do get ready with me's and makeup tutorials. So if you are not new, thanks so much for coming back and for watching another one of my videos. Today's update is for August usage. There were some rollouts and some really good progress too. So if you are interested to see how my project is going along, make sure you like this video so that way you tell the YouTube algorithm that you like Project Pan content, and then click the subscribe button so that way you can keep up and watch for the next update on this project. Anyway, if you are interested to see how the project is going, then stick around and keep on watching. Okay, so this update is for the August usage of all the products in my project. I've been keeping track of everything since January, rolled in a bunch of stuff back then, and you are welcome to go watch the playlist to see how the progress has been going so far. There has been a mix of pan goals, finish goals, usage goals, and things like that. And I am trying to keep things realistic. I don't want to set the goals to be like unachievable, but then I also don't want them to be too easy either. So trying to find a happy medium. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the first product. So that is, I talk about my products in the order that I put them on my face. So the first one is the Sephora Best Skin Ever Foundation in the shade 21P. So this rolled in May with a goal to finish. I do have to mix this with my e.l.f. Halo Glow and the blue mixing pigment from LA Girl. This is a little bit light right now, but I figure I'm so close, I want to just go ahead and finish this. I was able to use this foundation 14 times in the month of July. Now during the month of July, I was traveling, I was on summer break with my kids, and we were doing different activities and sometimes just hanging out at the house, so I wasn't always wearing makeup, so to have those 14 uses feels pretty good. So here's what it's looking like now after those 14 uses. Still making my way to try to finish this. It is inching slowly but surely. This foundation is at a total of 42 uses in this project. Now this foundation did have usage when I rolled it in back in May, but it has been my everyday foundation plus all the other things that I'm mixing in to make the right shade. Next is the Hourglass Vanish Concealer Mini. This has been in the project since January. It was brand new when I rolled it in, unused, and the goal is to finish this one. Here's what it has been looking like over the course of the project. It's gotten lots and lots of use. I did have to start mixing it with different shade of concealer once it started to get warmer, and so I was using less of this and more of my deeper concealers. Now in the month of July, I used this 7 times. So not a ton. It is super brightening right now after I've gotten my summer tan going, so it's not getting a ton of use, but 7 is still more than 0, so that's okay. We'll keep going. It definitely is at the very, very end. I don't know how much further this can go, but I'm gonna keep using it until the wand comes out just completely dry. This is the very last product that still remains from the introduction of this project. I'm ready for it to be out. So this concealer is at 117 total uses. That's pretty good for a mini. Next up is my e.l.f. cream bronzer in the shade Bronzed Pink Beige. So this rolled in last month in the beginning of July, and the usage goal on this one is 40 uses. With cream products, I know they move around really, really easily, so like hitting pan is not too difficult of a goal, so I went ahead and just put in a usage goal for this. I do want to try and use up as much of it as I can, because then at the end of the year, or at the end of, whenever I start to fade and become more fair, then it will get decluttered, go away. So I want to try and use up as much of it as I can before it goes in the trash. And here's what it looked like when it rolled in. And then in the month of July, I was able to use it 16 times. Here's what the cream bronzer is looking like after those 16 uses. So I think I'll be able to roll this out in the next update after using it in the month of August. So it shouldn't take too long to roll this one out. Next is my e.l.f. Bite Size Blush Duo in the shade Pomegranate. So I'm working on the blush, the powder blush, and I rolled this in with a 30 use goal last update. Here's what it looked like when it rolled in. I recorded this after I used it one time, and that's where those two little tiny pans came from at the very, very top. But yeah, we'll see what happens after 30 total uses. We'll see if maybe we can expand that, or maybe even finish it. Like, there can't be that much in this blush, right? In the month of July, I used it 14 times. And here's what it's looking like now. Now, I did have to repress this because while it was in my makeup bag one day, it started to break apart and shatter, and like some of it got into my makeup bag, so some of that product was lost, but I repressed it, and so lost the pans, but that's okay. We'll get more. It'll be all right. Okay, next up is the Kaleido Cosmetics liquid highlighter in the shade Flare. This rolled in June for a 30 use goal. So here's what it looked like when it rolled in. It's a really pretty liquid highlighter. It was never used. It had only been swatched when I rolled it in. I've never been one to like a liquid highlighter, but this one I'm really enjoying. Like, it blends out so easily, and it gives a really nice like metallic finish, but it also blends into your skin. Like, it's crazy. It just looks like you're super duper hydrated. And then in July, I used it 15 times. And here's what it looks like now. So this highlighter is at 25 total uses, and that is like ever. Only 5 more to go before I reach the goal. Next up is my e.l.f. No Budge Shadow Stick in the shade Blue Steel. So this eyeshadow stick rolled in April, and the goal was only 5 uses. I don't use cream eyeshadows very much, so that's why the usage goal was so low. But I didn't think it was still gonna be around in July. That's okay. Here's what it looked like when it rolled in. In May, I used it once. And then in June, I used it twice. So I used it in the month of July 5 times just in the month of July. So it ended up getting a total of 8 uses overall. There was a really great suggestion from Dora from Fuchsia Soul. She's got a fabulous channel, and she is an amazing panner and does all kinds of great projects, and I love watching her videos and seeing all of her progress. So she commented on one of my project pan updates, and I said, I don't really know what to do with this eyeshadow stick. It's a cool tone blue, it's a blue gray, it's summertime now. What do I do with this? And I was just dumbfounded. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then she left a comment and said, why don't you mix it with a warm tone eyeshadow, and maybe it'll make a nice neutral taupe shade, which was absolutely genius. So I started wearing it that way. I would blend it in. I would put on the Blue Steel eyeshadow, and then I would blend in this Kiko eyeshadow stick in this bright orange color, and then I would just blend that over the top, and then it turned into the most beautiful neutral silvery taupe shade that was so easy to wear for every day. I did that while I was traveling, and it was so easy because I didn't have to worry about powder eyeshadows breaking. It was easy to put on. I was often doing my makeup in the car while my dad was driving. We were doing a family reunion, and so it was just super convenient. I really, really liked it. So anyway, that is a goal met. Thank you, Dora, for helping me reach my goal on that eyeshadow stick. I would have never thought to do that if you had not suggested it. So thank you. Next up in the project is my Urban Decay Born to Run palette, and I'm working on the shade Guilt Trip. So this rolled in June, and this was my chosen palette with a random shade. The goal was to use it 15 times, and in July I used it 4 times, bringing it to a total of 6 uses. So I actually ended up hitting pan after just those 6 uses, but I was only like halfway, not even halfway to my goal of 15 uses. So I'm gonna keep this one in and see how much I can expand that pan. So in June, I started using it as a liner, and then in July, I think I also used it as a liner one time, and then I also used it just in the crease as like a deepening shade, and then blended it out with a lighter transition shade. There actually was one really fun look that I did that used Guilt Trip in the crease, and then like a light blue, a sky blue, and then the purple Makeup Revolution shimmer all across the lid. That one was fun. I liked that a lot. Next item is the Makeup Revolution eyeshadow, the bottom row first shade, the purple one. And this one rolled in last update in July. I rolled it in for 15 uses. I was able to use this one 5 times. So I'm a third of the way to my 15 use goal, and I feel like there's a definite dip that you can see in the pan in the top section. I have no idea how long it's going to take to hit pan in this, but I do have to really like dig in for the pigment to really be as opaque as I want it to be. So I feel like it shouldn't take too long with how much I'm using of this eyeshadow each time. So it's been a really great, just all over the lid shade. That and Guilt Trip go really well together. So it's a real easy 2 eyeshadow look, and that's actually what I have on my eyes today. So I filmed a Get Ready With Me earlier, and I'm not sure if that's up already or not. I don't know, but there is or will be a Get Ready With Me for this eyeshadow look. Making good progress on the Makeup Revolution shade, and we'll see how long it takes to reach all 15 of those uses. Next up is my Thrive Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Gislin. So this rolled in May, and I had marked a goal line to use up about half of the lip liner. In May, I used it 15 times. In June, I used it 17 times. Here's what it was looking like at the end of June. And then in July, I used it 17 times. So here's what this lip liner is looking like now. So you can clearly see that it is below the goal line. I've surpassed that goal. And this lip liner has a total of 49 uses in this project. It did have usage when I rolled it in. And now I'm kind of thinking I might want to finish it. I think I got this one in like 2019, maybe 2020, I think 2021 at the latest. So it's at least 4 years old. It's anywhere from 4 to 6 years old. So I think this one could be finished by the end of the year. We'll see. But for right now, the goal is met, and I can check that one off my list, and that is the second goal met for this update. Okay, next up is the MAC Mini Lipstick Super Smooch. So this came from a gift set that I got several years back from my stepmother-in-law, and it is this tiny mini little lipstick, and my goal was only to use up like a quarter to a third of it. This rolled in March, and in March I used it 8 times. In April, I used it 23 times. Then in May, I used it 7 times. I only used it once in the month of June. Here's what it looked like in the last update. And then in the month of July, I used it 6 times for a total of 45 uses. I apparently neglected to get video clips of both lip products this month. I'm inching ever so slightly towards the goal line. So like I said in the last update and probably the one before, I have only been using this one to just like dab on top of and kind of mix in with a lighter shade just to get a rosier color that I'm really enjoying this summer. So I'm not doing a full swipe of lipstick of this really deep shade. But yeah, it's inching its way towards the goal line. Right now it is just a hair above the goal line. I'm so close, so close. It's got a total of 45 uses in this project. It didn't have a ton of use when I rolled it in, so 45 is going to be pretty close to the total usage since I've gotten it. All right, now time for the roll-ins. So I met 2 goals in this update. That is the lowest number of goals met so far, other than the very first update where, I had just started. So I feel like update number 1, there's never any goals that are met, but that's okay. Anyway, so 2 rollouts, which means 2 new products are rolling in, 1 eyeshadow and 1 lip liner. So for my eyeshadow roll-in, the shadow stick was my random single, so that's rolling out, so I need to roll in a new random single. So we'll go to Tiny Decisions app and we'll randomize a new single eyeshadow. And now I'm ending up with the opportunity to use this eyeshadow that I have never used. I'm sure this came in an Ipsy bag, and so it's been sitting in my collection, just growing older, collecting dust, and being unloved and neglected. I'm sorry. This is the Illamasqua eyeshadow in the shade Hoard. It's a really pretty, shimmery, like gold shade. I think this is going to be a good, just all over the lid shade. I feel like it'll work for like in the office, at work, and things like that. So it's not too crazy metallic. It is very nice and shimmery though. I like it a lot. So I'm gonna put a pan goal on this eyeshadow. We'll see how that works out. So goal is to pan this one. Okay, so that is it for this update. So that was all of the July usage, and we got 2 goals that were met, so that's exciting. I'm glad it's more than 0. And it's always fun to roll in new items and kind of keep things rotating, keep things fresh. So we'll keep plugging along and see what we get for the next month. So in August, things get a whole lot busier. School starts back up and all of those things. So there's probably going to be quite a lot of usage on all of these items. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button and be sure to subscribe to my channel so that way you can follow along for the next update. Trying to get caught up. I'm almost there. So once this one goes up, then I just need to record my August usage update and then get that posted, and then I'll be caught up. So maybe I can post the September usage update on time at the beginning of November. Fingers crossed. We'll see. We'll hope. We can hope. We can only hope for the best. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.